Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room for Friday, August the 5th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. A couple of yeses to let me know you can hear me and see my screen. That'll help. I see one yes, Harry. I need another. All right, guys, you can hear me and you can see my screen. So yeah, the crazy world. So the jobs number came out, and on the surface, you would think, yay, more jobs created. But I guess the market was hoping for something less robust so that maybe, as I pointed out, what did I say right here? Interesting dynamics. If the July numbers are soft, I think the markets will cheer it, as that could be viewed as a reason for the Fed to pause its tightening. Anyway, it is what it is, guys. So that's what happened at 8:30. So we're in a big, not a big, but we've got a downturn in the market right now. What else is happening? What I'm seeing on these low floaters, guys, is not a lot of follow through now. I would say maybe even 2 weeks ago, up until maybe even Monday, Tuesday, we'd see some of these low floaters, excuse me, and the next day they would have maybe a bit of a move also. What I'm seeing now, these appear to be one and dones. Okay, now that's not just my observation, but I'm just sort of seeing some of these guys. So they're just sort of one and done. So they have their big day and then they just collapse. HSDT, look at this one. Remember this? It was up yesterday or 2 days ago, up to 282. Now they're doing a financing, 52 cents. They should be, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. I mean, when the stock was at 275, you would think they would try to do it a little higher than 52 cents. Anyway, so lots of other things happening. So here is a low floater, IONM, IONM. And again, no news. I don't see any news. 8 million in the float, up 125%. Just wanting to make sure this is not a reverse split. No, it's not a reverse split. Boy, this got as high as 1086 or so in the pre-market, but it's been cut in half. So I don't know. I think this is, I have no idea why. I don't see any news on it, guys. I'm checking all my news sources. I don't see any. I'm sure that there's somewhere there was something. Space. Wow. Space is almost an all-time low. This is an earnings play. Space is an earnings play, getting almost to that all-time low category, SPCE. Now, the poxers were hit. Monkey poxers were hit. Now, SIGA is an earnings play, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. They released earnings after hours yesterday. You can kind of see no big reaction. In fact, yeah, muted. They sold off a little bit, then closed here, but for whatever reason, the monkeypoxes are being sold off. I saw APDN was selling off also a little bit. Anyway, we'll have to keep an eye on them. DSOP, you can pop out the chat so it floats. I can remember how to do that. I think there's a little gear here. If you can see the gear, and then in between the color palette and the sound icon, there is a pop out chat or detached chat. Oh, maybe that'll help you. Yeah, if you want to, but if you want to detach the chat, you can do that. B hat. Cool Monopoly. That's what I read. Some kind of a game called Cool Monopoly, but muted now, guys. I mean, look at this. So yeah, a lot of action. 295, right back down, almost to the where it closed yesterday. Another low float situation, 3.5 million. WDC is an earnings play. WDC, what's your digital earnings play? Not good. Gapping down on earnings. I mentioned PGY. I mean, it's been selling off the last few days, but it's having a little bit of, not a little bit, a nice 20% pop. But it has sold off over the last 3 days, having a little bit of a pop now. PGY. And cannabis, man, oh man, look at this. Remember, guys, Canopy was the leader, was the big guy. Canopy earnings play, still disaster. Let's take a look at MJ. Look at it. Look at MJ. Oh, terrible, unbelievably bad. It's the ETF for the cannabis industry. DoorDash, DASH, DoorDash, DASH. Earnings play fading, but still up 5.8%. And good morning, YouTubers. Sober, SOBR. Don't see any news on it. Low float. Yeah, again, it got up to about $2 pre-market. It's pulled back down to 141. Still up 16%. Good volume. But I don't see any news on it. WBD, Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, wow. Warner Brothers is sinking here on earnings. WBD. You would think maybe there's a good support area around 1430 or so, 1430, 1440. So that's about 60 cents away. AHPI, AHPI. Yeah, another gapper on no news. I'm just kind of, again, I just pause every time. I just want to see if I can see a headline in Interactive Brokers. I don't see one. 333, back down to 260. Lyft is an earnings play. I'm sure that they probably wish they hadn't released earnings today. So Lyft is an earnings play, but sinking now with the market. LYFT, earnings play. Yeah, mask play. You're right, Jamie. I did see that, but Fubo's an earnings play. Boy, Fubo. Remember Fubo, guys? FUBO. $60 stock way back here. $3 today. Earnings play. Little lift for it, but I think this is dead. MOBQ. Then that showed up just as I was opening the room. MOBQ. All right, it's kind of holding. So they announced an exclusive. Excuse me. Sorry, an exclusive 12-month global contract with Grove Token following a $25 million commitment from Gem Digital Limited for market-defined green cryptocurrency. So that is your news for MOBQ. Well, I mean, it's a low float. And you look left on the weekly chart, the next high is 280, I think. 275 is the next high. Oh, keep down. No, actually, it's 250. Around 249, 250 is the next high. So it may stall right there. This is not. Oh, it is shortable for me. It is shortable for me. This one is shortable for me. Lots of shares available. 200,000 at Interactive Brokers. Got to keep an eye on this one because 250 could easily stall it. Yeah, iRobot. I'm just mentioning. Actually, I don't have the. I have a competitor. I've got the Shark vacuum system. I don't have the Roomba, but anyway, Amazon is buying these guys. Atco is being taken, or the rumor is being taken private. Shares are trading higher if the company received a non-binding proposal letter from Poseidon Acquisition. That's PSAC, right? Yeah, PSAC. Just a minute. Well, it's a blank check company. I know they're, but I don't know which one it is. Anyway, for 14.45 a share. I'm hearing CPIC, my gap downs. I only heard it. I wasn't sure if it was gapping up or down. This has been on the move for the last few days, but it is starting to move down now. This to me today, not just because of what's happened, has a like a different feel for me in terms of these low floaters. As I said, when I opened the room, I'm not seeing a lot of second day continuation now on these low floaters. It's a kind of a one and done, which could signify that we're getting towards the end of this low float mania. Don't know if I mentioned HYZN. HYZN is, yeah, this is an earnings play. It's getting hammered, almost an all-time low. Probably will show up on the 10-day daily breakdown. HYZN, highs on Motors. Yeah, I mean, look at I mean, QNRX did have 2 days, but boy, QNRX, I keep looking to see if they've done a financing, but I don't see a financing for them. But we could argue that QNRX had 2 good days. Obviously, Wednesday was the huge day, but yesterday wasn't bad. I mean, it sold off, but now look at it. This one, I think we're all cheering this one on, but evidently it's just no big deal. I mean, CGTX had the news, the Alzheimer play, got all the way up to 629, sold way off, and continues to sell off. Yeah, HKD, I mean, I don't have that. It's still 891. Let's not forget that, though. It is still 891, which is incredible. But all right, guys. Well, 913. Let me do a quick look. Let me see. Take a quick look to see what sort of upgrades and downgrades we have this morning from briefing.com. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Well, just to show you what I see, okay, here are our upgrades, okay, and then look at this list of downgrades. That's what I see this morning. This is from briefing.com. So let's get some of the upgrades in. Actually, a couple of upgrades for a joint chiropractic, not the other one. Um, couple of upgrades for joint, JYNT. We'll take a look at that. Just a minute, guys. Problem. Here we go. Okay, so joint. Tiva's been on a bit of a roll. Hey, an upgrade for Rhythm. Rhythm still is on a bit of a roll also. RYTM. Okay, so there are the upgrades. Let me just take a look at joint. See if there's anything. Is it an earnings play? It is an earnings play, guys. So yeah, actually, don't know why I didn't see this, but yeah, look at joint, JYNT. Is this shortable? Just, you can't believe these pops right now, but JYNT, guys. All right, now to get some of these downgrades in. Boy, is a huge list. So what I'm looking for right now, or maybe a stock with multiple downgrades. Yeah, so multiple downgrades for Heisen, HYZN, big deal. Why didn't you do it yesterday? Downgrade for Twitter. Yeah, I can't get them all in. I'm just going to, kind of pick and choose. There's so many of them. However, BBBY, Bed Bath and Beyond, Memer is starting to move a little bit here. I wouldn't trust it at all, but it is starting to move. All right, that's enough of those guys. It's interesting. We've got eight EGHT has an upgrade and a downgrade. All right, is there anything Twillo? Let's take a look at Twillo. Did I get Twillo in there? Yeah, okay. Let me take a look at TWLO. TWLO has a couple of downgrades for it. Earnings play. TWLO, it's an earnings play. I think, okay, as little as I know about crypto, Harry, I think what they mean is using less energy to produce. Okay, I mean, that's been the biggest complaint, right? With all the power, electrical, well, all the power that's required to run the machines. I think that's what they're talking about. I think. Yeah, well, Rash can't hear me, so as long as everybody else can hear me, I can't really help people who cannot hear me. Yeah, there's Beyond Meat. I didn't see this one. Beyond Meat is an earnings play, gapping down a bit. BYND. Warner Brothers is taking, yeah, a bit of a hit here, guys, and it's an earnings play. Hey, a little green candle on the SPY. All right, let's take a look at the sectors. I think this is going to be pretty messy. I haven't looked at the price of oil right now, so this will be a mystery to me. See whether everything is 100% up or down with the oil play, with the oil stocks. So if you're new to this, what you're seeing here, this is, well, 100%. Okay, so oil must be down. Oh, wow, is it at 87.45? Oh, man. I love those wild predictions between 300 and 60. Wow. Okay, so what you're seeing here, if you're not familiar with this, these are the major sectors. So there's XLE, which is a major ETF for energy. So these are the stocks that make up XLE. And when you see that 100% in red, what that means is that 100% of the stocks that make up XLE are below yesterday's close, which makes a lot of sense with oil now at 87. Wow. And when you just look at the other sectors, there is no strong sector. Okay, obviously right now, no strong sector. And if Omni remembers, and if I can, for the time at around 10 o'clock, we'll have a different look at this because it will look at the change from the open. So what could happen is that a lot of these sectors that are being beaten down right now, when the market opens, maybe there's a rally. So for instance, we could see oil stocks rallying. I'm not saying that's going to happen, of course. So we look at so the stocks could be still down from the close of yesterday, but moving higher than they're open, if that makes sense. So we could see a big difference. But if I remember to do it at 10 o'clock, hmm, very interesting though. Oil, I got to check my Canadian dollar now. Yes. I know it sounds unpatriotic, but I'm looking for a low Canadian dollar compared to yours. Okay, so let's see if anything else is starting to sneak in here. Yeah, I just don't think this. Well, listen, we don't know until the market opens, but BHAT, I mean, just got completely and utterly sold off, basically from almost 3 to 2. MOBQ though, MOBQ is still, yeah, MOBQ is still relatively strong, guys. It has not had a big sell-off yet, but 250, 249 is the next high looking left, and after that, 275. I always think that the 50-cent numbers are a barrier, can be a bit of a barrier for stocks under $5, just like whole numbers can be a bit of a barrier for most stocks. Just psychological, that's all it is. So, and I did check, and this is shortable for me. Ooh, what did I say? Did I say 300,000 shares? Can somebody remember if I said 300,000 shares were available at Interactive Brokers? The reason I say that is because now there are only 195,000 shares. I know 195 now, but I think when I was mentioning this one just, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, I think it might have been 300,000. I may be wrong. In other words, 100,000 were snapped up at Interactive Brokers. Okay, well, so I might have been wrong. Just give me one moment, please. Anyway, guys, I'm back. Hmm. Not sure I mentioned this one, this IONM. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned this one. ION, I must have, because this is a big gap up. It's right on the top of my list. So IONM, low float, 8 million in the float, lots of volume. This is going to ease, well, of course, it's going to trade the float. Traded already 7 million. I don't see any reason. I just don't see any reason for it. And it's holding. It's not, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, so the pre-market high was up around 6 and through the 200-day, well through the 200-day moving average on no news, just low float, low float. What do these guys do? Neuro monitoring and remote neurology services. That sounds pretty impressive. Okay. Morning, Paradox. All right, guys, 3 minutes to go to the end of this week. What a week it's been. And there's APDN. So these months, so the Poxers are just taking a hit. Denying the SIG. I mean, it's an earnings play, but I don't think it's nothing to do with earnings. I mean, look what happened yesterday. They released earnings after hours, and there was no real reaction. I mean, there's a mauve area right here, a little bit of a drop, and then basically, we're staying where it closed. I mean, nobody expects earnings as such from these companies. I should say nobody, but that's not what. Okay, WBD though, guys. WBD is just getting hit on earnings, getting close to an all-time low. PTVE. I don't think I saw that one. Is that under a dollar? Oh, there's no volume though. There's like literally no volume. Yeah, absolutely. There it is. MEGL right there. 3 million at 5, think equity. Okay, so when it launches, if it does launch today, we're certainly going to know about it. Hopefully it's better than the brush. All right, guys, less than a minute. Less than a minute to the open. Where's our buddy William? I don't know if he's in here today. Okay, guys, I'll get rid of this. Gonna get set for the open, and as always, all eyes on my racers for me. That's okay, William. You're allowed 1 day off from your duties. Yeah, the QNRX. I didn't see. I was looking for that find. Oh, there it is. There it is. Now they find it. 6.8 million. Yeah, there it is. So that's. But again, these promoters were terrible. I mean, look, they had it up to 28 dollars, and now they're basically doing the financing. We're way down here. Okay, guys, we are now open. So let's see what's moving. And again, I typically, there's Lyft, guys. Lyft is lifting up. It's a earnings play. Pre-market high was what, 1950 or so. Market's trying to put in a green bar. Plug early, yep. Plug is making a little bit of a move here. Has earnings next week on the 9th. But again, I typically do not trade in the first 15 minutes unless I see something maybe from my race that it would really have to be great. It would have to be breaking through lots of room, looking left. And then on the 10-day daily breakdown, if I do see something on the 10-day daily breakdown that is also an all-time low, I may take a real hard look at it. But more than likely, I'll sit out the first 15 minutes. If you're new to trading, I would probably sit out the first 30 minutes. Morning, Zach. QRTEA. I really have a dislike for these five symbol stocks. Hard to type in. So it's actually an earnings play. Staff is still pretty strong, guys. Staff had a big day yesterday. It's sold off though. I mean, it got as high as what, $5? Closed way down here at 367. Having a bit of a day though, a bit of one. KSPN. And you're right. Yeah, good call there, Zach, on that halt. So maybe we're not completely out of low float mania. Yeah, the only issue I see, well, okay, 570. So it's halted at 579. This is Interactive Brokers. I get this question all the time. What is this blue box I keep showing? This is from Interactive Brokers. This is, if you have IB, Interactive Brokers, this is time and sales. Okay. Your broker should have something equivalent. Look at the SPY, guys. Look at the SPY. Look at this first 15. Look at the volume that came in. Oh, just one moment, please. So look at the SPY volume. Look at the memer, BBBY, through 7 now. All right, PEGY. PEGY hit a pre-market high of around 470 or so. So it is now a market high, discounting, of course, the pre-market. Low float, no news. No news that I can see anyway. Wow. Okay, guys, look at SIGA now. Holy smokes, what a turnaround. Almost 20. Look at SIGA now. I mean, this looked, the Poxers were really dropping, but look at this. Look at this move here for SIGA. Yesterday's high was 2064. That was we're at 20 now for SIGA, SIGA. Let's take a look at APDN, see if it's following suit. Cheaper play on it. And the answer is sort of. And how about CMRX? CMRX, another POX play? No. And how about TNXP? TNXP, another Pox play? Not really. So SIGA is leading the charge, guys. SIGA is leading the charge. And I mean leading the charge. Big, 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 big green candle to start. Will this persist? All right, CPS, low floater, CPS. Wow, look at this thing. I don't know if I've really seen this one before. CPS, low float, 16 million, earnings play, released earnings after hour, zero, really no reaction. Market opens, really no reaction pre-market, little bit of one. Market opens and kaboom. Look at this thing go. CPS, but it is early. It is early. Well, guys, the memers have got a hold of this one. I mentioned this one in the pre-market, that meme stock on watch. Look at the, BBBY guys. Reddit short squeeze, of course. Wow, look at it. DKNG earnings play. I was watching it in the pre-market, kind of chopping around, but lifting on earnings now. Pre-market high was 19 or so, and that's DraftKings DKNG. But it is early. It is early. And we have a halt. Remember, I'm just talking about PGY coming back a bit after 3 down days. PGY coming back now, and it's halted. I'm sorry, it just resumed. It was halted and it resumed. Wow, look at this one. Oh, Zach, did you get in before the halt? So look at KSPN, guys. It's a time. So this is going to be more than a 5 minute halt. Going to be more than a 5 minute halt. Because if it had been a 5 minute halt, it would have opened at 9:37 plus 25 seconds. So this is probably going to be at least a 10 minute halt. But here's the projection of the open. This is KSPN halted at 579. Projection of the open 650, 650. Is this Briggs and Oh no, B&G Foods. All right, this is an earnings play, guys. BGS just showed up on the 10-day daily breakdown. All right, PEGY on the move. PEGY on the move. Can it take out that pre-market high of 469? Again, I don't think there's any news, but it's a low float. So traders around the world are just looking for the next low floater, I guess, to sink their teeth into. Oh, well, guys, PEGY. Remember I said I rarely take things in the first 15 minutes, but I'm out. I mean, this is just a quick scalp for me right now. I want to see, but later on, I mean, this has got no resistance on the weekly chart until $5 or so. Okay, so it still has maybe some room. Yeah, Beyond Meat, Beyond Meat. I'm seeing it here. Beyond Meat making a nice reversal. Wow, look at this. What a reversal. No kidding. Big reversal for Beyond Meat. I mean, this was sinking in the pre-market. There's a $6 pop for Beyond Meat, BYND. Boy, this Peggy still looks good. I'm not in it anymore, but it still looks looks pretty good. If you're in this one, just be aware of that $5 mark though. Yeah, I'm getting a little more aggressive, guys. I know I have my kind of my internal rule about not trading in the first 15 minutes, but if I do see something that I like in this in an early race and it's got some room, I'm taking a stab at them, but usually it's very quick. Oh, HCAT, guys. HCAT is an earnings play, all-time low, showing up on the 10-day daily breakdown. Let's see if we can take out 11. Well, so much for my thinking that this would be a sleepy Friday. What G just got halted on the way down? WETG got halted on the way down. So, so there you go. Look at the Peggy now, PEGY now. I don't usually like taking this right off the bat, but you know what? I'm going to stick an alert around 4:33 and see if it takes that out later on. All right, so Peggy did get back up to that area. Not that I don't want to take it yet, though. I just wanted to see if it would, if this was going to be an utter collapse. And it's so far it's not an utter collapse, but the $5 level is the key. Did it continue or resume? KSPN. Yeah, good. I'm sure Zach took this before the halt. Good for you, Zach, as always. DVAX on the move, guys. DVAX, DVAX on the move. Look at this big gap up. Didn't really see this in the pre-market. It's an earnings play for DVAX, DVAX. Oh, Siga, guys. Wow. Quite a turnaround. I mean, now the high yesterday is right at it, 2064, just a little bit above it now. What a turnaround. I mean, the all-time high is right up here at 2270. Another low floater, AHPI, guys. It's hit a high in the pre-market of what, 338. So it is trying to climb back a little bit here. So we did have a giant green candle to start. Can we get a second one? Not necessarily giant, but are we just going to get a red candle that wipes it out? That'll be the key right now going forward. Yeah, Jamie in our YouTube room. I don't have very many thumbnail charts left, but I did have that one NVIV. The big issue right now is the 200-day moving average, 869. Okay, it's right, it's close, but there is the NVIV. Yeah, okay, the PEGY doesn't look good now, so it doesn't look good now. Look at these topping tails now on the 15-minute chart. How ugly is QNRX now on that financing? You know what? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why they couldn't have found a way to, do the financing 2 days ago or even yesterday somehow. Wow, NVIV just took out yesterday's, or no, it's right at the VWAP or over the VWAP. I'm sorry, at the 200-day, 869, 869 at the 200-day moving average. And sugar, you know what I'm going to say? Just got halted, guys. NVIV just got halted. Look at SIGA. Holy smokes, what a turnaround, guys. SIGA, what a turnaround for SIGA. I mean, liking this maybe on some kind of a pullback because this is strong, strong, strong now. No clue this was going to happen in the pre-market. I mean, I know all the news about this one, and I know the $60 million international orders, et cetera, et cetera. But all that news was out there already. It's a relatively low float, 40 million in the float. Well, Carvana, my goodness, look at Carvana on a big jump on earnings for CVNA. I know you guys were talking about it, but it looked like it was drifting down. Well, it was drifting down. $7 pop from the bottom. All right, low float, not a low float, 104 million in the float, but SLEB is on the move. Again, they don't all have to be low floats. It's just that I'm surprised when I see something this cheap with that amount in the float, 104 million. Yeah, this is a pretty big pullback now for Peggy, PEGY. All right, guys, we've got a green candle, second so far on the SPY, 15-minute so far. U.S. Steel's been relatively strong, guys. X. Okay, APDN is not quite caught up to the jump that SIGA has had. The high yesterday was 735. We got another monkeypox play, of course. So let's see if it starts to really romp Following SIGA, I mean, SIGA has just absolutely exploded. Ah, the end of AMTD. Not shortable for me. Not just not shortable, really not shortable. Big red dot. All right, guys, DraftKings on the move. DraftKings on the move. DKNG earnings play. Pre-market high is getting close, was around 19. Wow, look at Carvana, CVNA, just severe rippage now. What a lift. That's over almost $10 from the low. Yeah, 29% short float percent. Twitter, I saw I actually had a downgrade this morning. Okay, now finally a pullback in SIGA. I'm really interested in this one. I want to see a bigger pullback though. Maybe down to, I don't know, if it pulls back to this level here. Okay, there's the pullback on KSPN. Now it's a little ominous here, guys, because we've got these two topping tails so far. Now this candle still has 8 minutes to close, but we have two topping tails on the 15-minute chart for KSPN. So what does that mean? The buyers at one point had this up when it came out of its halt up to about $7. Sellers knocked it down. It closed at 621. Buyers tried again. They got it up to 678, but the sellers look like they're still in control. So, but I may be wrong. I mean, if this still has 7 minutes to close this candle. Keep an eye. I mean, if it takes out 7, all bets are off. I mean, the 200-day moving average is actually getting relatively close, 825. 2 days ago, the high was 730. What did it get to today? It got up to 698. Well, I've got to stick an alert at the high and just see. Takes it out. Traders will probably get interested in it again. This candle, this 15-minute candle will probably tell the tale. Barry's a strong little play, guys. ARRY. I mean, after this, look at this 5 minute, this 5 minute chart right here. It looks like it's sort of settling down a little bit. You know, you look at the first 20 minutes, topping tails and bottoming tails. Looks like it's trying to settle down a little bit here for ARRY, ARRY. See if there's any news on this one. It has earnings on the 9th next week. All right, so I see this one, AR. This is from Zach's topping scan. I see this one. I see that it's an energy play. My guess is that if I look at this at 10 o'clock, the change from the open, probably some of the energy stocks have rallied. All right, well, topping tail no more for the KSPN guys. Boy, it takes out 7. I mean, this could really, I mean, the only thing that really can stall it, I mean, there's 2 days ago high, and then of course that 200-day moving average, but clean energy, CLNE, is this an earnings play? Yes, it's an earnings play, CLNE, earnings play. Super long halt for NVIV. Yeah, well, it'd be at least a 9 minute or a 10-minute halt. If it is a 10-minute halt, this will open just a little after 9:57, literally 2 seconds after. Let's just see what happens. Okay, see if this is going to be a 10-minute halt. And again, this is one of the scans I'm sharing, of course. This is the halts resumes. It halted at 9:47 plus 2 seconds. So this will open in 2 seconds if it's going to be a 10-minute halt. 1, 2. There we go. So it just opened, guys. NVIV just opened. Okay, will this 9 hold and then will it lift from here? This NVIV, that is the key. Will 9 hold? I think 920 may get me into this one, but the spread is terrible. 9,916 right now. I'd love to see like a 920 bid, 923 ask, something like that, but I may not get it. Just looking, I'm just watching the time in sales, 906, 906, 907. Very, very risky. Super, super, super risky with that float. 1.39 million in the float. Ah, that's why I wait. Look at this now, dropping down through 9. So what I'll do is I'll put my alert around 925. See if it takes that out later. Janet, this had earnings yesterday, I believe. Yeah, GCI. So it's a bit of a comeback. Trying to bit of a comeback. I would never take this unless it took out that 245. That's the high of yesterday. It's a big float, 137 million. I'll stick an alert though around the 250 mark. All right, guys, the NVIV. Ah, look at that spread though. It just is, you know, kind of typical of, something with 1.3 million in the float. The spread can get really bad unless there's, hundreds of million shares traded. Just tough to commit. 911, 931. I mean, you can't do it. I mean, that won't matter if it jumps $3, but I mean, my crystal ball is not that good. Hmm. Yeah, it's too way too choppy right now. One more price alert at say 9:30. See if it takes it out later. But right, way, 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 way too choppy. All right, guys, I'm in the SIGA. I want to see this. It was holding 21. Got a pretty wide stop on it. I want to see if it can get back up to the highs. This is just I'm in at just over the 21. Well, 21.18, 21.18. If it gets down below 21, I'm out. Well, it sounds like a wide. For me, it's a wide stop. Just see if it can hold 21. SIGA. I think PLTR, didn't I see it had either an upgrade or a downgrade this morning? I can't remember. There were so many. Oh, no, it was PLTK, not PLTR. SunPower, SPWR. Talk about power. Okay, guys, I'm maybe getting knocked out of the SIGA. See? Yeah, took myself out. Looking to get back in, maybe over the 2120 mark. Still pretty choppy. Choppy for me. So I'm just going to take a look at this high up here again, 2128 or so. I may have had a little more faith in it if I hadn't done this in the pre-market. Okay, down to 1830. There's no new news that I can see. I mean, that news about the $60 million, etc. order, I think that was already out there. So, all right, Sega getting me interested again. Yeah, Bed Bath and Beyond, guys. Boy, I didn't take it. I mean, I just mentioned it pre-market. Memer on the move. I did not take it, but hopefully, I just point out some opportunities, and if some took it, great. Maybe. I've got to watch the SIGA. And I'm talking to you, Omni. I'm trying to see if I want to get back into the SIGA right here. I know what I'm going to see, though. I'm sure I'm going to see the oil stocks have rallied. Another halt, QRTEB. Okay, SIGA's getting more interesting for me now that it looks like it's really trying to hold 21. All right, well, let's see if it works this time, guys. Okay, well, okay. So I've taken a piece out of it just in case. I don't want to see it collapse on me again. So I basically covered my loss on the first bit, and now I'm going to hopefully maybe let the second bit ride. And that is on the SIGA. All right, go. And there's the all-time high is up here, 22.70. Just $1 away. Oof, okay, what's next? I'm just can't really lose now in the SIGA. Okay, what's next? What's the staff doing? Staff, STAF. All right, boy, again, I just missed it. That four break was awesome. Yesterday got a high of 492. Just waiting to see if this can break through 22. Okay, guys. Well, you know me. I'm just taking some more off here, just in case it cannot break through 22. If it breaks through 22, just underneath that 22. Come on. 98, 99, the bid ask. Looks like it's halted. The only reason I say that is because, the spread is, okay, it's not, because it was just stuck there for a bit at 98, 99. Boy, yeah, Carvana has just destroyed some people. There we go, through that 22. What a crazy action though on the SIGA. I mean, I don't think anybody, I couldn't predict this was going to happen. Not based on the pre-market action. Well, can it take out that 2270? Oh, wow. Oh, why not? Put an alert at the high here. 2270, why not? Still have enough left that if it takes that out and moves beyond, a good weekend. All right, what's next? Nothing is, looking at my races here, nothing has won a race more than once. Interesting. By this time, usually there's one or two that have won a couple of times, but nothing yet. And I'm going to go over the races in a bit. Okay, I'm going to do a quick look at the sector status now. We're going to see what the difference is. Now we're going to look at the change from the open. Okay. Look at the difference. I love it. So if you were here 10 minutes before the market opened, if you're in the room, you would have noticed that 100% of the oil stocks were down for the day from yesterday's close. 100% of them. Look at the turnaround. Okay. From the open. Now, when I say oil stocks, I'm talking about stocks that make up XLE. Okay. So the stocks that make up XLE, every single one of them was down from yesterday's close. Look what's happened. What a turnaround. 100% of them are up from the opening, from the open. In other words, the first trade of the day, they're above that first trade of the day. Look at technology, 94%. I mean, I can't remember what the percentage was, but we've had a big market turnaround, but especially in energy. So, yeah, look at staff. I mean, I can be upset with myself again because I wanted was really I should have put I didn't put a price alert. That's a rookie mistake. I was going to put a price alert just over $4, and I don't know. I just obviously while I was so into the SIGA trade, which is okay. Boy, this take out this all time high. I mean, sky is the limit. Well, guys, there we go. All is it an all time high? No, not quite. 2270. Look at this SPY. So the big red candle when the jobs number came out, and if you're wondering, well, wait a minute, the job numbers look really good. The market, in theory, I mean, if you listen to people, see if I get that quote again. If the July numbers are soft, I think the markets will cheer it as that could be viewed as a reason for the Fed to pause its tightening. So the job numbers came in, and again, guys, whether we think the job numbers are manipulated or not doesn't really matter. Okay, it is what it is. But So when the job numbers came in very strong, the market sold off because they're thinking, well, you know what? Maybe the Fed is going to have to still tighten monetary policies. But look at this. Look at this complete and utter rebound with the SPY. There we go, guys. All-time high now for SIGA. Oh, wow. I don't have as much as I'd like, but I still have enough to make a little difference in the Anderson household. So how is it? I haven't seen APDN though on any one of my scanners really. See APDN not following at all. So I mean, keep an eye on it. I mean, it's lagging SIGA in a huge way. Huge way. CVNA, my goodness. I mean, I don't normally trade this price range, but what a move from the low. $14 now. Earnings play, 30% short. Yeah, I know you recall it, Zach. That was a tough day for you. All right, guys. Well, I'm just kind of biding my time right now. Oops. So the QRTEB resumed. Yeah, you got to really pay. I don't like this one to trade. I mean, usually the spreads are terrible. Look at that, 10.05, 11.50. I mean, the spreads won't matter if it goes up $4 or $5, which it can, but it's a miserable trader in my opinion. But the only reason I know about it is because it gets halted and resumed many times during the day. So yeah, let's see if this MEGL opens today, guys. This could be a real exciting one. 3 million at $5 in theory. So this is an IPO for today. Hopefully it'll be better than that. I'm not, well, I think you might be still in it, Zach. You said 0 or 100, but for the brush, it's the terrible one right now. Yeah, small block. Yeah. I got out of it. I couldn't handle it. Had a nice little profit on it, when it jumped from 3 to almost 4, but I didn't take it. So I ended up with a small loss on it. You know, this one is shortable. I didn't realize this is shortable. Interactive Brokers, staff, STAF, 131,000. Well, let's see what happens when this opens. I mean, the projected open is around 534. How long has it been halted? 1013. So this is going to be, we're starting to get more 10-minute halts now because that was halted at 1013. So this could be a 1023 open. Hey guys, I'm all out of the SIGA. I will, believe it or not, see if it takes out that high again and maybe take another look, but I'm all out of it right now. See if it takes out that high later on, get traders interested in it one more time. Peloton, PTON. Wow, PTON on the move here. Had a bit of a down day yesterday, but strong again today, PTON. This is an interesting one. I wish it weren't so extended. ASAN, it's had a nice run over the last few days. I just wish it weren't so extended right here. ASAN. Well, will I trade them? It depends. I mean, it depends how they open. I don't have ONFO as an IPO for today, but okay, I do see, yeah, 1.7 million between 450 and 550. Is it today though? Anyway, regardless, I'll just put a price alert on it. Create a price alert, $1. And then I'll put in my notes section, I will put, the fact that it's only 1.7 million. I'll put 5. Okay, so if it happens, I'll know about it. Meanwhile, STAF just absolutely exploded. Not in it. Today, I'm not going to beat myself up for missing these ones. I beat myself up a little too much yesterday. I wasn't happy at all. Big Bear, BBAI, another low floater. Yeah, low floater on the move. So a couple things about these IPOs. The only way I will trade today, any one of these two, if this one actually opens, Onfo opens, but if the Mega opens, first of all, it has to open or get above that $5 price. Okay, it doesn't mean if it does, I just take the trade. But if it doesn't, I'm certainly not going to do anything on them. So they have to open above the IPO price, or at least get above the IPO price at some point. You know, because look at the brush. The brush never got above the IPO price. Look at this SPY. Oh my goodness. You know what, guys? This is going to be a short spiel today. I'm just going to say a couple of things. Okay. Obviously, the test drive, if you want to take part in the test drive, it is coming up very soon. I'm going to put the test drive in, test drive link in. Okay, test drive. Click on the test drive. This is what you're going to see. The test drive starts on the 15th to the 29th. That is 10 trading days. It'll cost you $11.11. What do you get for that? You get 10 trading days with trade ideas with our premium service, except no auto trading. So if you're thinking you're going to auto trading, you're not going to have the ability to auto trade. The heck with auto trading, guys, okay? Now it starts on the 15th. If you sign up today, you are pre-registering. So don't harass our support people and say, hey, I just signed up. Where is my data? Please read. It doesn't start to the 15th. And that is 10 days. Now, if you cannot start on the 15th, if you say could only start on the 16th, you will get 9 days. Okay, so it is not 10 days from whenever you start. This is a fixed period, the 15th to the 29th. When the test drive is over, it's over. Well, what do I mean by that? You don't have to unsubscribe from anything. We don't put you into a subscription, okay? We only do this 4 times a year, so it's a great opportunity to try us out. If you think you can afford $11.11 for 10 trading days with trade ideas, then sign up, okay? I'm just going to put my homepage link in. I'm just going to briefly go over what you see in my homepage. So save my link because there was a lot of information. If you want to take out a subscription right now, there is a promo code you can use, 15% off the first month only or the entire year. If you click on Get Trade Ideas, just to give you an idea how much it costs, we have 4 plans. Annual premium is $2,000. Standard annual or annual standard is $1,000, less the 15%, okay? You can go monthly though, and that's what I would encourage you to do before you take out an annual. And you never have to, if you don't want to take out an annual, that's fine. Standard is 118, premium is 228, less the 15% for the first month only. Just so you know, that's what you'll pay going forward after the first month if you maintain a monthly subscription. Excuse me, at any point, if you do want to take out an annual though, we will honor the 15%. The big difference is the AI, which I'll look at briefly later. If you do take out a subscription, do the Let's Get Started. It'll take you 30 minutes. There are 10 videos, short videos, starting off with the download and installation. If you're going to take this test drive, do some preparation. Don't come into Monday morning, and say, well, what is this? I mean, do some preparation, guys. I do a stock of the day video at noon. I think I know what it's going to be. And that's free. Trade of the week, you can sign up for it right here, free. Trade of the week this week was Riot. The trigger was 750. Let's see if it's what it's doing right now. Still awesome, guys. Pick one trade. This has been an awesome trade of the week, Riot. And it's free. Sign up for it. You'll get it about an hour before the market opens every Monday morning. If you don't get it, check your spam folder or if you have Gmail, your promotion folder, okay? Lots of education is here. Take a look at the user guide. All I would do, again, if you're going to take this test drive or you're just starting out with trade ideas, the getting started, know what an alert window is. know what a top list window is, and know what the stock racing is all about, at least. Okay. Daily support. So today is Friday. So I guess Andy and Steve, they flipped. So it will be Steve in our YouTube room today between 12 and 1. That's when I take my break. And Steve is the originator of the trades of the week. So give him a nice little applause for this week's trade of the week, which is Riot. Chris Varley takes over in a YouTube room between 3:30 and 4:30, Monday to Friday, but he is off next week. So there will be no YouTube unless one of the other traders wants to do it. I don't think that's going to happen. So there'll be no YouTube between next week, okay? Between 3:30 and 4:30. And the daily webinars, you can sign up for them all here. Next week, it'll be Tuesday, Thursday. And then I think we'll have a 2-week hiatus while we're in the test drive. And then back to basics. If you're new to trading, great little series that's all free. Starts off with what is a stock. So if you're new to trading, this is a great little series that Michael Noss at Trade Ideas put together. And last, my scans. You want my scans? Here they are. The race mode that I talk about all the time. And I've pared down in all my other scans. The only ones I have now, the 10-day daily breakouts and down. And I do have Zach scan, but it's hard for me to pay attention to it. The bouncers and the toppers. Okay, that's it. Everything else, 99% of the time, I'm focused on the race mode. This is what I use in the pre-market. Pre-market actives up and down, and the gap up and down. These four work in the pre-market. So save my link, lots of information, my scans, the education, and the getting started, okay? Okay, let's take a look at what's happening now. FTI. So FTI, looking left on this one, what do we see? 838 is the next high. So it's actually above that high, guys. But on the weekly chart, 859. I just think it's too close. Yeah, I just think it's too close. There's just too much resistance between 839 and this 860 level. So I'm going to take a pass on that one, looking at it. Okay, let's see what else is happening here. I'm just catching up on some Tupperware. Man, oh, look at Tupperware, guys. TUP still strong. Still strong. Tupperware still strong. The high of 2 days ago was 1188 on earnings and is still strong. Okay, guys, BGS, short idea. Okay, it's showing up on the 10-day daily breakdown. Showed up at 22.29. Little bit of a bounce. Let's see if it takes out 22 again. Let's see if it takes out 22 again. It's not quite an all-time low. Where's the next low looking left on the weekly chart? 2176. Well, got some room. Okay, Peggy is getting a little bit frisky again, P-E-G-Y, trying to hold this 4 level. All right. What I do want to go over though is the races, okay? I want to concentrate on that and explain what you're seeing here if you're new or if you're still, trying to figure out, well, how would I use these races? So every race starts off with a top list, okay? Every race is based on a top list. So my race is based on the biggest gainers from the open percent. And I've got all these different column headers. So before we had races, the top list, what the top list could show you, you could say, okay, show me the stocks that are up the most today, or show me the stocks that are the biggest change from the open today. Show me the stocks in the last 15 minutes have the biggest percentage change, things like that. So you could sort in any one of these columns, which is all wonderful. Problem is, you couldn't really tell if anything was moving. Okay, I mean, you could stare at staff right now, and I can see it's 55.3% above the open. But what is that going to tell me? I mean, is that telling me anything really? Unless I stare at it and see, oh, now it's 56%, oh, now it's 58%, so I guess it's moving, which would be a crazy, crazy thing to have to do. Okay, so yes, the top list, wonderful for ranking, but it doesn't really tell you what is moving. And that's where the racing comes in. So every race, I'm running a 4-minute race. People ask me, well, why a 4-minute? I don't know. I've just chosen 4 minutes. You want to go 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 100 minutes? It's up to you. Okay. But I just decided I'd like to run these races every 4 minutes. So when a race begins, every stock start, and you're going to see another race will begin in about 21 seconds. So think of it this way. When a race begins, every stock is equal. Okay. It doesn't matter who's up the most from the close or the open. It is going to now start to show me what one is starting to move relative to the other stocks in this list right now. So for instance, the Peloton, PTON, it's only 12.5% above the open. But what if it starts to really move? All of a sudden now it's 15%, 20%, 30%. All of a sudden it starts to really move. I would never know that, okay, by trying to stare at a somewhat static list. The races solve all that. That's going to tell you what stock relative to the rest of them is really starting to move. So what happens is that you run the races, and I run the races every 4 minutes. So a new race will start. Now I'm a little surprised because by this time, usually you'll see a stock that may have won 4 or 5 or 6 races already. Okay. And this is a list that gets constructed all day long, a top 10 list, and it'll show you the stocks that have won the most races. And so right now, I mean, KSPN has won 2 races, but again, you know, a lot of times what we'll see is by this time at 10:38, a lot of times you'll see a stock that has won 4 or 5 times already. This gives you a great watch list for the day. One of the main reasons for this is to get especially new people to focus on one scan and one scan only. Instead of flipping around, trying to create all sorts of different alert windows and top list windows, and not getting anything done because you're clicking like mad on symbols all day long, you focus on one scan. Now, it doesn't mean just because something is like KSPN, it's winning a race right now, it doesn't mean you just pile into it. This is where you have to practice. You have to have some chart reading experience. What is the overall market doing? Sometimes, I mean, most of the things we see here are not too concerned with what the market is doing. But it's always a good idea to take a glance at what the market is doing. But more importantly, KSPN, what is it doing? Where's the high of the day? If this were near the high of the day, then I'd be looking left to see, okay, the next high in the daily chart, where could it stall? Looking left. things like that. That's why it does require some chart reading experience. It's not just a matter just because something is winning a race that you just pile into it. But I'm going to, I can't emphasize enough that, and this is my race. It doesn't mean this has to be your race. When I say that, for instance, I've got one now, large cap gainers from the open. It's in essence the same thing. It's just that I've restricted it now to stocks that are, say, a minimum of, say, 50 million in the float, and maybe a market cap of at least, say, half a billion, 500,000. Some people don't like this because it's too volatile, and I get it. That's okay. So I constructed one called large cap gainers from the open as an example. And I can give that to you if that is more your style. All I'm really trying to say though is you can run a race on any top list that you can excuse me construct. You could run a race based on stocks that you like to follow. You might have a symbol list or a watch list, maybe a basket of 20 or 30 stocks that you want to follow. It's fine. You can do that. You can run a race on that. But try to get used to the idea of watching this all day long and not flitting about. And if it gets a little boring, click on one of them. STEM. Let's see what STEM is doing right now. Is it pulling back to a level that you like? Use your price alerts. For instance, if you thought that, wow, if this pulled back down to that 10 SMA or maybe the VWAP 1342, if that's the type of trader that you want to be, somebody who, if it pulls back to the VWAP, I want to know about it. Put a price alert 1342, no problem. I'm going to set a price alert, create the price alert. Now I've got a price alert right down there, okay, for STEM. If it pulls back there, I'll know about it. So, I mean, this is why you've got to practice, and you can practice in our simulator. This is this Brokerage Plus. All you have to do is click on Sim. Well, first of all, to load Brokerage Plus, just click on New, and then the Brokerage Plus window. This will pop up. Click on Sim for simulation, and it'll change to account, and then click on Simulated Trading. Now you're in our simulator. Now you can practice trading. Here's another big miss on me on the downside. Staff. I mentioned earlier that I had shorts available for staff. Well, they've been snapped up too. They're only 82,000 now. BGS continues on its way down, guys. BGS. Mentioned this one on a 22 break again. Well, the only hotkeys available are flatten, half, and double, okay? So if I get into a trade right now, let's take a look at Fubo, okay? Let's say I wanted to trade Fubo right now, and I take 600 shares. I go in at it's market because it's only a 1 cent spread. I send it. So now I'm in Fubo. But when I get out of Fubo right now, I can flatten the trade. That gets me out of the trade. I could have got out of half the trade or double. That's it for hotkeys, okay? Not a ton of hotkeys. And you saw how easy it was, guys. All I did was just click on a symbol. Just click on a symbol. Sorry, just click on a symbol. Skills, I just clicked on skills. It's showing up here. I can take, now I'm not saying I wouldn't take this trade because I'm looking at 2 day ago high, 187, too close for me. Yeah, I'm looking left all the time. See where the next high is. If I think it's too close, I don't take the trade. Doesn't mean it's not going to explode through that, but that's just the way I trade. Now, if I don't get out of a trade at the end of the day, then I can practice swing trading. Okay. Because if I don't take a trade out, then it carries forward for as long as you want. Well, maybe not as long as you want, but because I'm not sure if there was a limit, but certainly enough that you can practice swing trading. Boy, how ugly is this one? This KZIA got as high as 330 in the pre-market, just completely giving it up now. Another one of those low floaters that went crazy. I do. That's one of the, again, I only have, I used to have, I think 15 charts, thumbnailed. I'm down to 4. This is one of them, NVIV. BGS keeps inching its way down. I mean, what did I say was the next low? So, I mean, I'm going to be watching 2370. Oh, no, no, what am I talking about? On the weekly chart, 2105, is that right? 2155, that's right. So 2176. So, I mean, if you took this short, be aware of that level right there. I mean, if it takes that out, and it's an earnings play, so if it takes that out, look out below, guys, for the BGS. So again, the only other alert window that I really pay attention to are these ones, the 10-day daily breakout and the breakdowns. Okay, mainly the breakdowns. Most of the things that I'm going to see in the 10-day daily breakout will be in here. Okay, most of them. So, but I don't. And by the way, if you wanted the short version of this, I don't mean like the Coles notes. I mean like to create a short out of this. Give me a moment. So this is the top list window that this is based on, okay? All you have to do is, if you've got this scan, already, and you want to see the top list window that is associated with this scan, you just have to right click, and where it says, and then says open top list, then the top list will open, okay? So once it's open, then what I would do is I would duplicate it. Right click, duplicate it. And then what you do is you right click, configure. We've got this wonderful little feature called flip. And so what will happen is it will flip anything that is flippable in the filters. So obviously you cannot flip a price range, you cannot flip volume, but you can flip this. This price was up at least 2% from the previous close. That can be flipped to 2% below the previous close. So when I click the flip, see now, so you don't have to, you don't have to create it from scratch and then you would give it another name. You give me a moment here. Or you call that biggest losers from the open. Okay. Now it's going to look like this. And now you can create your race based on this one. Right click, launch the real-time stock race, etc. So now I'm not doing it because I've got enough. I've got my hands full just with the winners. And if I'm looking for losers, I look no more than right here. So, but that's up to you. Okay, guys, what's happening now? TRHC. Haven't seen this one for a bit. This was another tabula rasa. Another low. Actually, it's an earnings play. Didn't see it at all in the pre-market. Wasn't doing very much in the pre-market. Relatively low float. I mean, 24 million is a low float. So far, my exit on SIGA looks pretty good. It didn't really take out that 23 mark, so well, I mentioned this one a little while ago. BBAI did not take it, but this is on the move here now. BBAI, low float, 11.6 million in the float. And PGY living up to its reputation as a very tough intraday trader, PGY. Yeah, so we've got 45 minutes down so far, but not huge red candles. I'd be more concerned, I guess, if it took out that 10 o'clock candle. Wow, this is just ripping here now, guys. Earnings next week. Oh boy, did anybody take the BGS short, guys? I said, watch to see if it took out 22 again. And that's what got. Oh boy, and that came from again only 2 alerts so far. Yeah, I just got this faith in this 10-day daily breakdown so much. The HCAT. All right, I have to take a look though now. I'm actually thinking I'd be out around the 70 mark, but because I thought that might hold it up. But the next low looking left, 2176, so we're below that. Then the next low looking left is 2105. So At some point, I'm going to take some profit, but I'm not sure when. Maybe if it gets up to 65. And this is my my oink alert. Every time BGS makes a new low, I hear the oink alert. So far, it's not giving me any reason to get out of this short so far. The only trade I'm in right now, guys. That's it. Boy, look at this BBAI. Could have been in this one, but I didn't take it. 250 on the break. Look at this, 50-cent move on a $3 stock, 11 million in the float. So, some of this low float mania is still there. I mean, look at the next high looking left is 348. Now, you can't, I mean, you're chasing it now, unfortunately. All right, I just covered some of the BGS in this 2160 level. But it's still grunting at me. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I mean, of course, you can put sound alerts on an alert window, okay? So my sound alert for the 10-day daily breakdown, if I right click and go to properties and actions, the pig sound, okay? Okay, whoa, MEGL just opened. MEGL just opened. Did it open? Well, forget about it, guys. The height of idiocy right now for Meg, it just opened at 50. Okay, 3 million at $5. Okay, opened at 50 and it's halted already. I think it's halted already. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean, that doesn't get no opportunity. I was hoping maybe opening at 7, 8, maybe even 10, base a little bit and then start to run, but it certainly is magical though. The magic empire. What do they do? We won't have. So it's a China stock. There you go, guys. China stock. That's what can happen with these China IPOs. Could be another HKD. Absolutely. No, I shouldn't say that because somebody's going to listen to me and say, "Well, wow, HKD went to 2,500." So the guy is saying this could be another HKD. Even if it doesn't go to 2,500, maybe it goes to 1,000. So understand that's not what I'm saying. Yeah, if you can get it. So right now, Just give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment. See, we don't even have this on the halts. We didn't have it on the resume. All right, guys, all out of the BGS as I'm watching this ME. I just want to see where this might open, this MEGL. As Zach says, take 10 shares or something just in case. I'm not saying that. I shouldn't say it. Shouldn't say it like that. You guys are talking about ILAG. ILAG, wow, there it is, winning a race right at the top here. See how things. Now, another word about the races, guys. You don't wait until the race is over before you click on the alert. If you see a stock that's starting to move up the leaderboard, click on it, okay, and see what's happening. All right, guys, SIGA is making a little bit of a move now. SIGA making a little bit of a move. Watch for a high of the day break. I mean, that could get traders interested again. No, this one from yesterday, guys. This one is just moving higher or lower. Oh, this one from yesterday, HSTO, just got halted. Another low floater on the move. High of yesterday was 385. I'm more interested to see where this silly MEGL opens. I guess what I'll do is stick an alert at 49.99 and stick an alert at 50.01. It didn't work. Yeah, this is so weird, this one. Okay, guys, Beyond Meat is making another little move here. BYND earnings play, initial reaction, not that great. Market open, huge green candle. Yeah, it's a big bounce now for BGS. It's okay. There's a nice little short underneath that 22 for about 50 cents, almost 50 cents, but I think this could be one of the, they could really, really halt this for a long time. MEGL. All right, guys, give me a moment. I'll be right back. Yeah, I just put myself on mute. I had to go for a second, and I'm back and keep waiting to see if this thing will unhalt MEGL. How did you get those shares, Big O? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, BBBI is just absolutely, that's the one, I guess. I mean, that is the low floater, 34% now, but it came from 242 all the way up to a dollar move. Weeble, really? Ah, look at the NVIV now, guys. I didn't. 100% Zach. Yeah, the low floaters are getting hammered on the pops. They're just not, there's not the big continuation. I mean, that's what I've recognized yesterday. It started to happen. And certainly no a lot of second day continuation, which could mean we're at the end of this low float mania. Could mean. Boy, this is a long haul for this MEGL. Boy, this one is, look at this rip, guys. I mean, there's no news that I can see. I mean, it's, to participate in the 25th annual Oppenheimer Tech, etc. They have earnings next week on the 9th. No news that I can see though, that other than, you know what, low float traders around the world saying, okay, we'll pick on this one for a while. You have been mentioning AMTX, Zach, as a slow grinder. I see it now. Robinhood does the same thing, don't they? In terms of IPOs, don't they allow you to get a few shares if you want? Siga's getting, excuse me, Siga is giving it up now, guys. So 23 is maybe a dream right now. Okay, remember I put an alert down here for STEM. I just was showing you how, if you thought, you know what, I want to see something on a pullback to the VWAP. So here's STEM pulled back to the VWAP at 1346. Now, will that hold? Also, look at that 10, look at the 10 SMA on the 15-minute chart. That is a Steve Gomez favorite. Let's see if that holds. That's that blue line on my 15-minute chart. That's the 10 SMA. Now, I do use pre-market data. So your 10 SMA may look a little bit different from mine, but so it looks like it is not holding so far anyway. The VWAP 1346, slightly underneath. So I mean, if you had shorts for this, you might say, okay, the VWAP is not holding. Maybe I shorted. Right now, I'm just, and then your stop would be at the VWAP, just as an example. I'm not saying you do that, but so you have a very tight stop, and if it took the VWAP up again, then you'd be out. But you might want a lot more confirmation that it's going to take it out. 1323, okay. All right, KSPN on the way down, guys. Just got halted on the way down. Come on, Mego. I'm just so intrigued to know where this is going to open. It is possible this will get halted for the whole day. It is very possible. Maybe the SEC or somebody, I don't know who, but it's the governing body of somewhere is going to say we can't have another HKD in our hands. Because this has been a long halt now. Man, that was a big. It's funny. The BGS. I was actually considering it on a bounce, not down here, but if it hadn't, if it had held 22 really well, I was actually considering this on a bounce because I've actually seen some nice bounce plays from the 10-day daily breakdown when they're not all-time lows. So I was actually, and I'd have to go back and look at the history of this week, but I saw quite a few of them actually bouncing when it was a 10-day daily breakdown when it wasn't an all-time low. So, but that's quite the good bounce now for BGS. All right, this is showing up in Zach's bounce scan. This is the first one for me in the bounce scan. Cold, COLD. All right, guys, AHPI. This looks interesting. It had a high in the pre-market of 334. Okay, trying to come back here. It is, what's the percent here? 4.5%. So it's risen since this race started. It's moved 4.5%. And it's a low float, 3.5 million in the float. Not the same cold though, PJ. This is COLD. Okay, it's not the same cold. If you were listening to me. Okay, guys, AHPI on the move. Now, I always have my reservations of it taking out that whole number. So that's why I've taken some off, guys, because I always have my reservations about it taking out that whole number. Now, BBAI didn't have any problem. We'll see. With that float, I don't see. Is there any news on it? I don't see any news on it. Speaking of BBBI, just made another new high here, guys. Look at this. Oh, I'm not going to beat myself up. Not today. Not today. All right, Paradox. Yeah, have a great weekend. Look at this. No news. So if you took this now, if you were fortunate enough to take this BBAI, 486, 486. Looks like that's the next level. I mean, that it could get to before it hits resistance. I mean, it's so parabolic now. I don't think this is shortable for me. Just do a quick check. No, not shortable for me at Interactive Brokers. Well, maybe AHPI can do something remotely similar. There's the magnet right up there, guys. 335, the pre-market high. And see if enough traders look at that and think, wonder if we could get there. I just have, obviously it's got to get through 3. If it gets through 3, all right. Well, let's push it up. That's, well, as you see, I did not go to art school. If it takes out 3 guys, I mean this could really have some severe rippage. Maybe a BBAI. Because there's no news. Races, guys, races. Look at the top. Whoops. Just a minute. Look at the top list, okay? Where do you see AHPI? Do you see it anywhere? Right? I mean, it's there, but it probably was down here and it started to race, you know, moving up that leaderboard. Can you guys understand why this is such a powerful new tool we've got? All right, guys, this is a big winner now for me anyway. AHPI, percentage wise. I mean, I've got this. I look at it, but man, oh man, just stare at this all day long. And I mean, you can just absolutely just focus, focus, focus. That's what it's all about when trading. Focus. So there's the BBAI. I mean, look, if this BBAI pulls back to a certain level, where's the VWAP? 368. Maybe if it pulls back to the VWAP, maybe you'll get interested. I don't know. So if that's what you'd like to see what happens at the VWAP, put a price alert. So really simple to do. Just go to the chart and right click where you want the price to be, price alert to be. And I said the VWAP, so it's 365. I'll save it there. That's okay. And you can see it's right down here. Okay, right down there. I'm going to get rid of some of these right now, except for that one. So that's how you can use our price alerts window in conjunction with our racing scan. Okay. And I say it is super simple to do. All you have to do, you don't even have to open the price alert window. All you have to do is go to a chart and, you see the dotted line, pick where you want the price alert, right click then, create the price alert. And if it's not exactly the price, then you can type in the price, of course. I typically don't put any notes unless it's an IPO that I want to know about. But, if you want to put notes, like approaching VWAP, something like that, I mean, that's fine, or 10 SMA or anything else. Okay, guys, I have traded most of my AHPI out just because It was struggling to really break through 3. So I don't want to watch this go right back down to where I bought it. So traded most of it out now. On to the next one. Wow, haven't seen this one for a while. PULM, pull matrix or pull matrix, whatever. Haven't seen this one for a long time. You saw this one, well, way back here when it. Now it did not actually get up to $316. That is split adjusted, reverse split adjusted. But it's now halted and it's probably a low float, 3.3 million in the float. Most of the time when you see a low float, most of the time that means this stock has gone through some reverse splits in the past. Okay, I am sticking an alert for AHPI over 3 again and see if it takes it out again. 308, that was the high, so let's say 306. See if it takes it out again. Because I mean that pre-market high was still just almost, wow, the spread got 288.3 is terrible for a $3 stock. That's a terrible spread. When I took it, it wasn't like that at all. 295 now, it's tightened up a bit. I mean, this could start to rip again. Takes out that 3. Wow, Fluor is getting hammered here on earnings. Okay, AHPI right back up, guys. Missed it. Missed it. Hmm. Yeah, that's where, in fact, that is where it got to, didn't it? Let's see, the high was 333 in the pre-market. 333, yeah, the 200-day is 348, so that could stall it, but I would have taken it. I just couldn't get it in time. Oh, I have my alert, but I don't have see my alerts. Somebody asked that the other day. I mean, why don't I just put a conditional buy order at my price alert? In this particular case, yeah, it probably could have worked, but I just don't trade like that. You know, I want to get the alert and then see what's happening. Okay, in this particular case, it just went too quickly. You know, I just deal with it, and that's all. It just went too quickly. I probably could have got it, except I was just talking to somebody in Trade Ideas at the same time. So I mean, if I'd had complete focus, it's possible I could have got it around 310, 312, but didn't have complete focus. So yeah, I mean, listen, I call it, just because I sometimes can't take the trade, I'm trying to point out opportunities. That's what I try to do all day long. Okay, so there is BBAI down below the VWAP. Okay, so you see how you can use the race with price alerts. If you miss something, I mean, obviously, I mean, you shouldn't be chasing BBAI. I mean, listen, obviously, if you chase it at three, or at 344, yeah, you would have got lucky and it moved another dollar. Fantastic. But, another way to do it though is okay, wait for some kind of a pullback, put the price alert at a pullback price that you'd like, and see if it number one triggers. Now, doesn't mean that in theory, you don't just hop into the trade. You've got to watch to see how it's trading, of course. But at least you can get the alert to know, okay, there it is. What do I want to do with it? I mean, look at the AHPI. This is really this is a challenge now. Oh yeah, McNally, you'll love it. Number one complaint about our program: too complicated. Don't know what to do. Now, understand, we're not teaching trading so much. I mean, the program is called Trade Ideas. That's what it does. It generates ideas. But at least if you just focus on the races, and the magic word in what I said was focus, that'll help you immensely. I'm not just talking to you, McNally, but anybody else. If you find yourself flitting around, clicking like mad on all sorts of different, or not knowing how to start because you don't know how to create an alert window or a topless window or anything else. But if I give you this one, I mean, as a start, just to see how it works and just focus on it, I think that's going to help your trading immensely. And watch. No, I wish this one wasn't showing up. This phge.u. I wish it weren't showing up here, but I could probably put well, it is, but it's interesting today because we're now at 11:33, and it's interesting because by this time, most of the days, one stock is probably won 8 or 9 races. And this is what I love about it because it ranks the winners 1 through 10. Number one will be the stock that wins the most races over the course of the day. And it's a great watch list. Follow the stocks all day long. So for instance, if I click on SELB, I mean, it only won one race, but I look at it and go, now it's sort of interesting. What if it took out that high of 241? Would that get it rolling? I don't know. So let's just put a price alert. See what happens if it takes that out. Okay. So just because something isn't moving, check out what has happened previous. It's always great to have a watch list, something that just stocks to follow all day long. Well, how easy is this? Because it basically constructs the watch list for you. In this top list, you don't have to be doing exactly the same top list as I have. Whoa, GBT. No, I think I read yesterday that GBT was the subject of a potential takeover. Pfizer. I think that I don't know if Pfizer was mentioned yesterday, but I'm just looking. Pfizer is in advanced talks to buy GBT. Wall Street Journal, okay? No, I know. Wait, I'm just looking at the halt. It just got halted. And yeah, that news came out. But this was in the news yesterday for the same reason, I think. Yeah, because August 8th, this was not an earnings play yesterday. Yeah, you see, look at this, guys. This was yesterday's news, okay? This is what I saw. Trading higher following a Wednesday report suggesting the company is attracting takeover interest. I don't think there was no mention of Pfizer yesterday. Well, certainly not in this headline. Okay, so that was the reason for the jump for GBT, and now we see that it is Pfizer PFE. Ooh, just watching the market now. So yeah, all that good stuff, all that great feeling, 45 minutes now being wiped out. Well, was wiped out. Another green candle maybe forming. So we've had a real choppy day in the market. Look at staff, guys. STAF, STAF. Look at what it's doing. You can see it's starting to at the top of the leaderboard right now. It is trying to hold that 5 level, and maybe it starts to move again from here. Okay, there's that 5 level. Yeah, SIG is getting interesting again. The SIGA getting interesting again. 2238 or so. Might have a shot to get through that 23 mark. Ah, look at blue. Look at blue, guys. Blue came out of nowhere. Nag, nag, nag. But look where blue is in the top list. Look where it is. You'd never see that. You would never know that blue is moving. Okay? Blue is sympathy. Okay. Okay. Remember I put a price alert for SELB, SELB, just at the high here, just to show you how you can use price alerts. For something that moved earlier. And here it is starting to go again, SELB. So price alerts, race scan, all you really need, and a couple of charts. That's all you really need. You should be able to, McNally. Yeah, Microsoft 365. That's like AWS, right? Amazon website. Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Yeah, you should be able to. Absolutely. All right, guys, give me a moment. I'll be right back. Run it back. You know what, McNally, your best bet is to do something like this because I like the way Harry is trying to help. Okay, but our tech guys, we've got a couple of super tech guys that know a lot about this stuff. Okay, so obviously not me, but let me just direct you to our homepage and ask the question. Okay, we just give you our homepage link. Tell them exactly what you've got. And ask the question. So if you click on that home page, click on the link that I just put in there. And when it says question and answers, just click on that and ask. Okay. And I think Bill and William are around and they're pretty savvy tech wise. So they should be able to steer. Yeah, but I think it's all to do with this M1 chip too. So I mean, I don't, it's way out of my comfort zone to even talk about this sort of stuff. I mean, I've never had a Mac or an Apple or whatever in my life, so I really don't know. Okay, guys, it's 11:44, so in about 15 minutes, I'll be taking my break between 12 and 1. Steve will take over in our YouTube room. I'll put, look at this one go. Is this on here? Yeah, look at hi ho, hi ho. Look at it go. H-I-H-O. I used to see this one a long time ago. If I back this monthly chart out, I'm going to see, yeah, I remember trading this one a long time ago. HIHO. Low float, China, and look how it ripped. This is the sort of thing that I love about it because out of nowhere, some stock that we haven't seen at all during the day, you'll see it. You'll just see it. How long can you make a race? I'm not sure. Maybe 100 minutes. I really don't know, Teddy. I really don't know how long. My idea of making it say 4 minutes because I want to have a leader. I want to have a leaderboard. Okay. I mean, obviously, if I made a race, just say 100 minutes, that'd be what, six races for 6.5 races for the day. Okay. So, but I'm not sure. I don't know what the upper limit is, to be honest. Something got people excited about this HIHO, and you know what? It may just be that some group in Reddit started looking around for another low float that really hasn't been active over the last couple of weeks and said, "Hey guys, let's pick on this one." I really don't know. Let's put it this way, Teddy. What would be the longest you would like to run a race, as an example? I'm talking to somebody in our YouTube room. I know that the default seems to be 10 minutes. Yeah, okay, Pepe. So there is no time limit in theory, but I wouldn't, I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to run a race more than 10 minutes. Depends how you're using it, I guess. But I mean, I would always want to have a leaderboard constructed. And so I can take a look at, especially in the afternoon. Some of these things just rest. And then in the afternoon, they start moving again. So there you go. So Pepe, who is our resident tech expert, says there's no limit. Boy, Siga guys are getting close again to that 23 break. Look at this. Pulled back down to 21.60 and it's popped up $1. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it was halted at 11:34, 11:35. I mean, close to 11:35. So now this is more than a 10-minute halt for the GBT. So what William is saying is that it was a volatility halt to begin with, and then we may get another halt here, which will say news. We might, because obviously it's so news related right now. Okay, McNally, let's see what they come back with. All right, guys, Siga just took out 23. Oh man. Well, guys, I actually thought this would be a rather lazy Friday based on what I was seeing in the pre-market. Not even close. Here's another one, I think. CNET is coming in. I think this is a low floater. CNET is a low floater. Yeah, so just over $1 now. China, low float. China, low float. Now it's not showing up here. Not showing up here. I'm surprised. No, here's another one, guy. Now we're starting to get crazy again. MDJ, MDJH, another one that was wild 3 days ago. So I guess we're not quite out of low float mania. I'm surprised CNET isn't somewhere here. Oh, I know why. I think I have oh, I have a minimum of $1. CNET should be here. Yeah, interesting. It's not showing up in this race. Now it is. Look at this. Now it is. It took a bit to pop right to the heart top here. Sort of a delayed reaction, CNET, and now it just got halted. It just got halted. CNET just got halted. David the Marketer, how to set up alerts. Are you a Trade Idea subscriber, David? I'm talking to somebody in our YouTube room. Are you talking about price alerts on the chart? Okay, I have to ask if David can hear me. Only stocks, yes. One is only stocks. We don't do Forex, futures, options. We only do stocks. No crypto. We have our hands full with stocks. That's for sure. Maybe David can't hear me, so hard for me to help if you guys ask me a question and then you maybe have me on mute. Okay, guys, so 11:55, so I'm getting close to my break. I'll put the announcement in. Not on a break quite yet, but just put the announcement in. It's waiting for Steve to show up in our YouTube room. And remember, and here is the YouTube link. Okay, when I do take my break, you can head over there. And remember to say all sorts of nice things to him about his Calling Riot for this week's trade of the week. Trigger was 750, I believe, 750. And so it got up to 866. I mean, that's, that's pretty awesome in my opinion. Now I gotta make sure I haven't muted the other room. Okay, so I'm just waiting for Steve to show up. Time is at 11:56, so he should be there in a couple of minutes. Yeah, so why this HIHO is right here is because it's reflecting on that bottom that hit at 239 and then it popped up to 260. So it doesn't look good, but that's the reason. I was just wondering, well, why is it showing this jump? And that's because it got down to 239 and then it moved 7% from there. So yeah, cold. What was that? Well, that was your bounce play. That's why I saw it. That was a bounce play, right? The first time I saw 3070, and what did it get down to? Actually, that's not bad, is it? Only got down to 3055. I just can't pay attention to them, Zach. But guys, I mean, they're not the most easy plays, the bouncers and the toppers, but certainly, if you can figure out a way to trade these, they give you some really, really good looks all day long. I just heard a little ping. That means Mr. Gomez is in the room. There he is. Oh, even got somebody in the background. Maybe Steve can't hear me. No, he's just setting up. I guess he's just setting up. I can see him. He's actually got his mug displayed. There he goes. Steve, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me. I think he's still got the site on mute. Okay, guys, I don't, Steve can't hear me, and so I'm going to have to, he might be able to hear me, but he's got the site on mute, I think. He doesn't know that. He has unmute the site. Okay, guys, I'm assuming I see Steve is sharing his screen, so I'm going to bow out of here from YouTube.
Steve, can you hear me? You should be good now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good now.
Can you explain to me what happened?
Yeah, I'll send it to you in Slack where you had to add yourself to the stream.
Oh, I didn't add myself to the stream. So
there's two spots. You have your audio and your video that you have.
I never added my audio to the stream. It was total user error. All right, thank you.
You're looking good. You got it. Adios.